Hello guys, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Be the Ant Preparedness. Man, it's freaking hot today. I am so ready for fall. Fall is my favorite time of year. You got football, you got hunting, all the leaves are pretty, and it leads into all the holidays and Christmas, right? I'm still a big kid when it comes to Christmas. I love Christmas. Anyway, today's video had someone comment the other day on a video I did about stocking up on your food. They commented, yeah, but what do you do if you're broke? Okay. If you do not have a lot of money, like most of us, I mean, people that have watched my videos know that I got like 20 kids, right? Yeah, all the bills are high, all the bills. But anyway, yeah, if money's tight, and if you're just starting out prepping, okay, when it comes to your food, I've talked to different people who have started to get into prepping, and it seems like they want to go out and get the MREs and the mountain houses and you know, the hiker dehydrated food and all this stuff. And just hold on right there, you don't have to do that. Now, if you are independently wealthy and you can afford to do that, yeah, get whatever you want. But for the rest of us, we have to watch what we do. My recommendation, okay, if you have no preps, if you're just starting to get into prepping, or if you have little money, well, and or both if you have little money, you can get a 20-pound bag of rice for less than $10. I just bought one the other day. I think it was $8.99. Now this is not the instant rice, so it is going to take longer to prepare, but it's food, okay? You can find the beans on the shelf again. We had a stretch of a few months where you couldn't find beans hardly, but they're back on the shelf again. And pinto beans are ranging from $1 a pound, $1.19 a pound, I think I saw. If you go and you get the 4-pound bag, it's less than $4, so that's less than $1 a pound there. And the beans, if you guys have not watched my 7-day bug out bag food challenge, go back and watch at least the first one. I break down what I ate for a week. And literally I ate for a week, and I think it was less than $15, and that was including buying coffee and the little drink additives, you know, that you pour into your water to make it taste good. So it's possible. I ate for a week off of $15. Now, I'm not saying I was enjoying it, as you guys that have watched the series on the Bug Out Bag Food Challenge know. But you know what? I was okay. I had food in my tummy. The pinto beans, I would cook half a pound, and I had 2 meals from that. 3 cups of rice by themselves is probably 2 meals, okay? We have to get out of this idea of the 24-ounce steak and the baked potato that's as big as your head. And I know that sounds weird coming from me, but when you're talking about survival food, yeah, everybody's going to be on rations. But anyway, yeah, rice you can buy affordably. In fact, I just filled some buckets and took them to our location the other day, and in some of the buckets I had 20 pounds of rice and 10 pounds of beans. Okay, so between that, I had Sorry. Had to pay attention for a second. There was a guy on a motorcycle standing up on the pegs. It looked like he had binoculars off to the side as he's coming toward me. Yeah, that had bad written all over it. Anyway, so 20 pounds of rice, 10 pounds of beans. You're talking less than 20 bucks. If you're talking about the bucket and the lid, definitely under $25, okay? And there is a lot of food there, okay? For one person, oh my goodness. I would say a month's worth easy, for, yeah, $25. Now, that's not all the niceties, okay? If you guys watch the after action that I put together on the Bug Out Bag Food Challenge, yeah, I said that I will never do that again without the minced onions, you know, in the spice area at the grocery store. I wanted to be as basic as possible, so that's what I did. So I wanted to learn from that, yeah. Stock up on some flavoring too, right? But yeah, rice, beans, oats. You can still get the big container of oatmeal. Excuse me. And I think it's, what, $3, $4? Now that's not the individual packets that are the maple sugar and the blah blah. We're talking about just putting food away, guys. Putting food away. So you've got that. Yeah, mac and cheese. Stockpile it, okay? Mac and cheese, if you buy the expensive stuff, it's like less than $1, but if you buy the cheap stuff, it's like 40 cents a piece, 50 cents a piece or something. And with the mac and cheese, I found that that was 2 meals, okay? But yeah, the mac and cheese, pastas. I've got, I was just looking at it last night, I gotta get it put away. But for instance, 2 pounds of pasta, I bought, they were 85 cents a pound, and 2 cans of pasta sauce, and I think it was $1.09. So literally for 1 pound of pasta and a jar of sauce is less than $2. And depending on your family, I mean, 2 pounds of pasta is a lot of freaking pasta, okay? So you can do it. Okay, these people aren't going. There are ways. Don't worry about MREs, Mountain House. I had the canning video I put out on canning the chicken. That does have some cost in it, okay? But for right now, just to get food put away, focus on those shelf-stable, affordable items, okay? Pastas, beans, rice. You can get the little side dish packets of the rice and the pasta side dishes for like $1 or something like that. Grab a handful of those. I understand it can be expensive. Trust me, I understand that. But you're going to have to make some decisions. Do you go out on a date night? Do you take the family out to eat 2-3 times a week? For me, with all of my kids, if we go out to eat, even if we go cheap with a tip, I'm looking at $70, $80 all day long. And I'm talking about something like Denny's or something. I mean, like, yeah. So for a family of 4, if you're talking $10 a person, that's $40. Yeah, how much food could you put away? How much rice, beans, pasta, oatmeal, stuff like that could you put away with $40? So yeah, it comes down to it that you gotta prioritize stuff. And I understand that you may be watching this and you do prioritize that, but perhaps your spouse does not, and I understand that as well. And my answer to that is do what you can. those of you that watch the videos know my wife is not super into the preparedness thing. Like I say, she's put up with it over the years. But the COVID kind of woke her up too. It's like, oh, maybe her husband's not crazy, right? And I've actually got her now. So whenever we go to the store, one of us, both of us, whatever, we try to get one prepping item. Okay, if we go to the grocery store, maybe it's a bag of beans, maybe it's a can of coffee to put back, you know, it could be whatever. Maybe it's just an extra couple boxes of mac and cheese or pasta or something. But every time we go, we try to get one thing. And if your family is like mine, probably go out 5 different times during the week, whether we're running to the grocery store, to the Target, the Walmart, whatever you guys go to. Even the gas station. You go to a gas station, pick up a power bar, pick up a lighter, you know, anything that you would deem preppy. And it'll start to grow over time. Get you a tote, and when you get home, you know, put the stuff in there. When it starts to fill up, then you can organize it past that. That way it's not hurting. You're not going out and dropping hundreds of dollars at one time. Yeah, like I said, I do understand it does get expensive, but just starting out, or if you're on the cheap, look at those items. Now, once you get a decent stockpile of those, what do I mean by decent stockpile of those? I would say, and don't get scared when I say this, don't do it, okay? Oh, you're over there, sorry. I would say 6 months. Okay. Oh my God. Yeah, just go with me, okay? You get 6 months of your staples. Yeah, oh, sorry, I forgot about corn. You can get a 50-pound sack of feed corn, still pretty darn affordable. I haven't bought any lately, so I don't want to tell you guys wrong, but I think at one time I was getting it $10 a bag, $15 a bag, something like that. I haven't checked it out lately, so I don't know what the price is lately, but you're talking about 50 pounds of corn. Now with corn, and I'm just going to touch on this, it's not like your other stuff. You have to treat your corn for your body to be able to absorb it. It's called nixtamalization, if I'm pronouncing that right. There's way too many syllables and letters for a hillbilly to be able to say that word right. But look it up. I believe it's pronounced nixtamalization. But what it does is it breaks down the endoderm, the skin of the corn kernel, and allows your body to actually be able to absorb the proteins. Without doing that, you can actually quote-unquote starve, because your body cannot absorb that, so you can starve with a full belly. But anyway, yeah, once you get that 6 months, okay, then if you want to start looking at stocking up on your canned tuna, if you've got the freezer space, your meats, meat is extremely important, but I want you guys to really have those basic staples taken care of. Get that stuff stored back, that way at least you got something in your tummy. As far as the meat, you guys know that I pressure can, because I can take that and put it in the pantry or the closet or in the basement. It doesn't have to have electricity, it doesn't have to have refrigeration, and it's good to go. Yeah, with the canning, up to a year is excellent. After a year, it's still not going to hurt you, but the texture starts to get a little weird, and some of the nutrients start to break down. But as far as how long the canning is good for, do your own research, okay? I know we all had that grandma that was going through the pantry and found a 15-year-old can of blank, right, and ate it. Your canning, it's primarily Right now I'm doing it for practice and to store up a little bit. You know, we get a good deal on chicken or beef or pork or whatever, I can go and can it. But during SHTF, that's when the canning is going to come in, because there may not be any electricity, may not be any refrigeration, your freezer breaks, whatever. That's where the canning is going to come into its own. And that does, there is cost involved in that, trust me. Even if you go cheap, I got a cheap canner and it was still like $100, okay? And then you got to buy the jars, and a dozen jars on sales $10, okay? And then you got to buy the replacement lid. So I understand all that, but the good thing with that is once you have that stuff, you have that stuff. The only thing you have to buy more of is lids, because they're not reusable. There are companies out there that make quote-unquote reusable lids. I don't have an opinion on it because I don't trust them, okay? And that's just me. But yeah, after you get that 6 months, then you can start looking to adding some other stuff to your preps as far as food. But get that stuff. And what you want to try to do is get a year plus of food, okay? And I know that is like, dude, you don't know how much food that is. Yeah, I do know how much food that is. But what you're wanting to ensure is, okay, right now is the perfect time. We're in August right now. If something were to happen right now, okay, it is, in this part of the country, it is too late to try to start a garden, okay? Some of the stuff, beets, radishes, the things that are pretty darn quick, they would probably be okay by the time the real cold weather came in, but even that's going to be pushing it. Maybe some broccoli or something, because they kind of like the cold. But anyway, you're not able to get a garden in right now. You're not going to be eating from your garden until next year. So what are you going to be eating between now and then? That's where that year's worth of food comes in. And yes, I know, I can hear them go, I'm going to hunt my way to a fat belly. You do you, bud. My opinion is it's going to be kind of thin. And even if the hunting is available, every time you go out to hunt, you're taking a chance, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But to each his own, like I always say. Yep, absolutely. But that's why you're wanting that year's worth of food. But yep, I'll wrap it up here. Start with your staples: rice, beans, yeah, your pastas. They store real easy. If you can get if you can find the bags of wheat, go to feed stores is a good place to find bags of wheat. Yes, it's animal feed, but it's people feed too, right? You just gotta check it out. You don't have to buy the organic wheat berries that are $10 a pound, okay? But anyway, stock up those staples, and until next time, talk to you after a while.